Hi, I'm Elizabeth with Logic Walk. In this lesson, we'll dive deeper into how the computer writes data to the hard drive. Before we open the simulator, here's the simplified sequence our program will follow to write data to the hard drive. First, the data will be stored into the disk buffer. Then the data size will be specified. The starting index will be set. The disk will be in write mode. Then the disk will be turned on. And then finally, the disk will write one character at a time until it's complete. Let's review the program in the simulator. Instructions 0 through 3 will store the ASCII values into disk buffer cells 30 through 33. Instruction 4 stores the data size into memory cell 46. Instruction 5 stores 3, the starting disk index, into memory cell 47. Instruction 6 stores 1 into memory cell 48, which indicates that the disk is in write mode. Instruction 7 stores 1 into memory cell 49, which means the disk is on. The computer will stay at instruction 8. Let's take a look at what happens when we run the program. Once we run the program, we see that disk A receives the 4 characters and it's stored in disk cells 3 through 6. Let's take a closer look at what's happening. At time 9, the disk has written its first value into the hard drive. For the computer state, memory cell 30 contains the ASCII value 76. Memory cell 46 contains a 4, the total data size. Memory cell 47 contains a 3, the starting disk index. Memory cell 48 has a 1, showing that the disk is in write mode. And memory cell 49 is turned on. The hard drive will then write the value 76 into disk index 3, then update the number copied to 1. This process will continue until the number copied equals the data size. Since the number copied does not equal the data size, this process continues. At time 10, everything in the computer state will remain the same, and the hard drive will write the ASCII value from memory cell 31 into disk index 4, and then the number copied will change to 2. At time 11 and 12, the computer state will remain the same, and the hard drive will write the ASCII value from memory cells 32 and 33 into disk index 5 and 6, respectively. And at time 11, the number copied will change to 3. And then at time 12, the number copied will change to 4. Now that the number copied equals the data size, the disk operation is finished. And at time 13, memory cells 30 through 33 and memory cells 46 through 48 remain unchanged. And then the hard drive turns off cell 49 and resets the number copied to 0. Let's take a more generalized look at the disk write properties. Suppose at some arbitrary time t, memory cell 46 contains some value n, which represents the data size. Memory cell 47 contains some value dl, which represents the disk start index. Memory cells 48 and 49 both contain a 1, where memory cell 48 shows the disk is in write mode and memory cell 49 is turned on. And in the hard drive, the number copied will contain some value c. If c is less than n, essentially if the data size is not equal to the number copied in the hard drive, then at time t plus 1, the disk writes from memory cells 30 plus c into disk index dl plus c, and the number copied increases by 1 to c plus 1. And sometime later, u, when c equals n, meaning the data size is equal to the number copied in the hard drive, then at the next time u plus 1, the values in memory cells 46 and 47 remain at n and dl respectively. Memory cell 48 remains at 1, memory cell 49 turns off, and the number copied resets to 0. That concludes this lesson. In our next lesson, we'll go into more detail on how the computer reads data from the hard drive.